On this podcast, we're going to be talking to all different kinds of people that are all on their own journey and they've all got their own story to tell. We're going to go beneath the surface. My name's Paul Schweiler and I hope you enjoy. Ali, thanks for coming on.
Thank you, man.
Ali, our in-house videographer. We've been talking about doing this for a little while.
Yep.
But I think it's good timing now to actually bring you on and everyone can learn a bit about you and find out who the person is behind the camera all the time. Because the person behind the camera doesn't always get their face on the screen.
I know. I'm not usually in front of the camera.
How do you feel about that?
It feels good. I've done some like YouTube videos and stuff like that. So I'm not used to it, but I'm sort of confident in front of the camera. Like I don't feel shy in front of the camera. But I will always prefer behind.
I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah.
People will think that I know how to say your last name, even though you work with us. I can't. Just say it for me.
Yeah. So it's Quevedo, which is like I think comes from Spain. So it's like a Spanish last name. I think so.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. That's good, mate.
Yeah.
Now look, there's so much we could talk about today, but you've got a super interesting background. You know, you've briefed me on some of it, but there's a lot of stuff I still don't know about your history and your background, and I'm looking forward to it. I know the team, everyone that knows that we're having this chat today, are excited to watch this. So, Ali, again, thanks for being brave enough to jump on and be a part of this podcast. But you know, give us a snapshot about your background, like where you come from.
Yep.
Give us a background on yourself.
Yeah. So I've been in Australia for now 8 years. So I came in 2015, August. So I left my country August 4, and then I arrived to Australia on the 6th because it's 2 days fly.
Mm-hmm.
It's a long distance. So I come from South America, Venezuela, which is, for those who don't know, it's between Colombia and Brazil because a lot of people doesn't know where Venezuela is. So it's between Colombia and Brazil. It's a tropical country. And I've been here for 8 years. When I arrived to Australia, I didn't know English at all, and just came with $500 with my brother.
That's frightening.
It has been
you would have been nervous.
Yeah, it's been a crazy journey. I came with no English. So the main thing where I came to Australia was because it was my brother's dream. I didn't plan to come to Australia. I didn't know even where Australia was. My plan was to go to US because I used to play baseball and I got a scholarship back then. But the scholarship only covered like 65% of it. And then my parents couldn't afford the rest of it. So I decided not to go. I couldn't go. I couldn't do it. And then my brother's dream was always to come to Australia because of the animals. He always loved the animals. He's vegetarian. And he always been prone to that. And I was like, let's go together today and see how it goes.
Did you think about it over a period of time, or was it just like, bang, let's just go?
Yeah, let's just go. So
that's a big decision to move a country. What prompted you just to be so quickly about, because you're leaving your parents, family, your life, because when you left, how old were you when you left?
Yes, just 18. So I turned 18. I turned 18 in June and I came in August. So 2 months after. Yeah.
But why were you so eager to get out of Venezuela?
Oh, it's just a situation. Venezuela, at the moment, it's not in a good situation, economically wise. Just the whole country, the whole situation is not good. At the moment, it's not a poor country though. We got money, but the government is really shit at the moment. So it has been for a long time. It's been the same government since very long time. And
so when you were there, was your family, were you a wealthy family or did you struggle a little bit or like middle?
I mean, I never saw that we struggle. I was just a kid and I always have food on my fridge. I enjoy my life. I enjoy my childhood. I'm very grateful for it. But we didn't have, when I compare it to here, we didn't have many things that kids have over here. But it wasn't something that I miss or that I wanted to have, maybe because I never saw it.
Yeah.
I was happy with what I have, but I will say like a media social status, I will say maybe on that time. But the difference in Venezuela is because the rich are really rich and the rest population is like medium but low. That's the separation in
There's a big gap.
Yeah, there's a big gap in it.
Okay.
So yeah.
And just going back to your comment before, which I know we've touched on a little bit.
Yep.
So you're obviously quite good at baseball.
Yep.
You had a scholarship to go to where?
To US.
To the US.
So I was gonna do physiotherapy in the US. I applied for it. I got into it, and then the approval was only 65% of it. And yeah, like I mentioned before, I couldn't.
Because you've got friends that play for
Oh yeah.
in the Major League Baseball.
Yeah. I got a few friends that play in Major League Baseball. Son in Kansas City. My cousin plays in Boston. He's a pitcher. Like I got a few friends that.
And these guys are getting paid.
Yeah, ton of money.
Millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And you went to school and you grew up with these guys.
Yeah, pretty much. A few of them are older than me, but yeah, we play.
A lot of baseballers seem to come out of South America. Is the number one sport where you were? This is baseball. Everything.
Yeah. Everyone aspires to be a professional baseball player in Venezuela. It's the biggest sport in there,
Right.
and there is a lot of like professional high end baseball players in MLB.
And how did you when you learnt that your family couldn't fund you to go and pay for that remaining 35%?
Yeah.
Were you heartbroken?
I was a little bit sad because obviously it was my dream to play in or to be signed up in baseball, and I was a little bit sad that the fact that I couldn't do it. But I always sort of knew that I was gonna leave the country no matter what because of the situation. I could see that I didn't have many potentials to grow, and I was being eager to learn a lot and to grow. So I was like, even if I didn't go into baseball and go to US, I'm gonna leave the country no matter what.
That's an interesting. Like, why though?
Because
is that common? Do you reckon?
Yeah, it's very common, especially now because it has gone wars the country, and
it's a dangerous country.
Yeah,
is it not?
It is. It's a bit dangerous country. It's not as people see it. Sometimes people a lot of relate to Venezuela or Colombia and all of these South American countries about drugs and kidnap and all this stuff. And yeah, it happens, but I don't know. It happens, but it's not like an everyday thing.
Do you think it's fair that people? I'll be honest. When I think of a South America, you think of drugs, murders, corruption.
Yeah, and there's a lot of that. There's a thing. There's a lot of that.
Did you
I'm not
witness
gonna
that
deny it, but I feel like because a lot of the movies have
they play it up. Yeah,
they play it up.
They put sauce on it.
But there is a lot of good things about our country as well. Like, for example, Venezuela has the biggest waterfalls in the world, which is the Angel Falls. We have a lot of famous people like Dudamel is one of the biggest in there. A lot of baseball players, like I said before.
So growing up as a kid there, were you witness to some bad things that happened?
Oh yeah, a lot.
Like
a lot of bad things.
Like what sort of things did you witness growing up as a kid?
Oh man, I mean the most recent one was a week before I left the country, and it's a sad one to say, but a week before, like a week prior, I left the country. I was meeting some friends just to say goodbye, blah blah blah. Just make it like a getaway party sort of.
Yeah.
And we were in this house, this town that it was the town that I grew up. It's a bit dangerous in there. But I sort of knew how to walk into the streets, and I knew a lot of bad people in a sense, so they wouldn't do anything bad to us.
Yeah.
Because we grew up together. They went to rough pathways and they went to the wrong ones. But this week when I was with my friends, I remember clear we were walking in this street and we went to someone's house. There was these 4 guys, just to explain the situation, there was these 4 guys just drinking like out on the street, and I was with my mates just walking past, and I remember that they told us where are you going? And one of my mates, like I was 17 at that time, right? So yeah, I was 17. I was 18 already at the time, but all my friends were a little bit younger, like 16, 15. And then I remember clearly we were walking in this alley, and they were drinking. And once we walked past to them, the guy says to us, like, where are you going? And these friend of mine says, "Oh, we're going to this place." He like actually said the location that we're going, and I was like, "Don't say anything, because they're gonna know where we're going." And I said to him like, "Yeah, we're gonna check out this party, but we don't know if it's like it's going on, what's going on in there. I'll let you know once we come back, because we gotta get some drinks." In Venezuela, there is this funny thing that there's a lot of places, houses that they sell alcohol. Like you don't have to actually go to a liquor store. You go to, like, to an actual house and they sell you some alcohol. So like, oh, we're gonna get some alcohol and then go to there. And as soon as we walk past, the guy says like, hey, stop. And once we turn around, he was pointing at us with a gun. And everyone got scared and started running, and he actually shot at us. That's what I thought, that he shot at us, because as soon as I hear the gunshot, we start running, and we just run. And then once we stop, like 5 minutes or 10 minutes after we stop running, we start like checking ourselves out. Yeah. And guess like, fuck, I don't know if you've been shot, if we've been shot or stuff. And one of my mates like, no, he just shot in the air to stop us. And that's when I make the realization, like, I'm not gonna leave my house until I leave to Australia. And things like that happens a lot. Yeah.
And I remember you telling me once you got on a bus and one of your mates had a gun on him. Yeah.
So I have this situation when I was in high school. One of my mates, he wasn't a good behavior or anything like that. So I was going to a baseball game, and someone got in with a mask into the bus and like robbing the bus, blah, blah, blah. And when I saw him, I recognized him. But I have to act like normal, because I didn't want to.
You didn't want anyone to know it was him?
I didn't want anyone to know that I knew it. So I just pretend that he was robbing me as well, and just give my phone to him. And then like 2 days after, he gave it back to me in high school. When I went back to school. Yeah, I went back to school. He's like, "Oh, bro, sorry."
What about all the other people around you that he robbed? You didn't say anything?
Nah, what am I going to say?
You don't want to burn that with him.
Yeah,
either.
exactly. And then he goes back to me, and then
you don't need that.
You don't want to do that. You just want to avoid those kind of stuff.
So you're 18, your brother says, "Hey, we're going to Australia."
Yeah.
Mum, Dad.
Yeah,
you say, "Listen, we're going."
Yeah.
What was their reaction?
They were just happy that
they were happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, happy and sad. Sad, obviously, because we live in the country. We know that we're not going to see it in a long time. But they were happy because they know that the opportunities that will open for us will immensely. We will be able to achieve great things that we're doing now. My brother is a tattoo artist. He's amazing. And now I'm a videographer.
Your whole back, including your backside, is tattooed.
Yeah. So we're doing...
Your whole back, the back of you is coloured in, right?
Yeah, the whole thing.
Butt cheeks, the lot.
Everything. The plan is to do a bodysuit, and he's doing all of it.
Mate, we know when your bum's been tattooed because you can't sit down.
I'm going to sit down to edit.
Classic.
Yeah, I know.
So you moved over. You've left your family.
Yep.
You've never been home since.
No.
You've never even been back to see your mum and dad.
No, I haven't seen my parents in 8 years.
How does that make you feel?
I try not to think too much about it, because obviously it makes you sad.
What's the reason why you haven't gone there or they haven't come here? Money?
I wouldn't say money. It's a few times because of visa stuff. Have to pay some visa and stuff. I was studying. But actually, to be quite honest, I haven't put the effort into going back. Because I feel like I lost the touch of how to... Like, I miss my country. Don't get me wrong. I miss my country. I miss my family a lot. I love them. But I don't know if I'll be happy to go back. I would rather to bring them here or meet them in another country. I feel like I don't want to...
If you step foot in your neighbourhood, even if you're going for 1 week, would you feel happy to be there to visit your family and excited?
Yeah.
Or being in those surroundings, would it make you feel sad?
Well, my family or my mom doesn't live anymore where we grew up. That was my grandma's house. And once she passed away when I was 17, she sold it and then she moved out to a safer place. It's not safe, but a better place, let's call it. And if I go back to Venezuela, I will definitely go where I grew up. And the only thing that I want to do is sit down in front of the house that I grew up and just reminiscing all the good times that I had in there. because that house holds a lot of good memories for me. Yeah,
And you look back, you look at where you are now, and then you look back at
man,
where you've come from.
I have come so far. It's just giving me the chills now. Yeah, I have achieved so much. Sometimes you get stuck thinking of, oh, I want to achieve so much. I'm eager to learn. I want to go so far. But you forget how far you come. I came to this country, not English, no money, no knowledge, like no studies or anything. Now I'm doing my thing, my videographer thing. I aspire to be one day a cinematographer. And I started from the bottom, like a lot of immigrants have started here, cleaning houses, cleaning construction, cleaning toilets, bartending, doing all those kind of
Whatever
stuff.
you got to do to make money.
Whatever you got to do to make
money. But how did you go? Like, you didn't speak English at all. How do you learn that? How do you pick it up? What do you do? What's your thoughts moving into Australia? How am I going to get by? How do I communicate?
Well, I studied English for, I think it was like three or 4 months. Because that was my first course. I came to study English and then consequently to study something else. And so I studied for for 4 months, and I learned sort of the basics and then went from it.
Yep.
But to be quite honest, in 4 months you don't learn much. No. You really learn on the work on the streets. So I learned a lot. I started working in this restaurant in Sunbury with a good mate of mine. It's called James, and man, he holds a good place in my heart because he helped me a lot at the beginning of my let's say my journey.
You still chat to him?
Yeah. I haven't seen him in a while, but I still chat to him. He holds a good place in my life because he helped me a lot. He gave me the opportunity into the industry of hospitality where I worked for 5 years. I learned a lot from him. Started doing dishwashing in an Italian restaurant called the Petros. Or it's close by. It's called the Petros in Sunbury. And yeah, I started from there, and here I am today.
It's crazy.
You know what I mean?
Literally walked into a new country and with nothing. Literally nothing.
Nothing.
Clothes in a backpack, no cash, can't speak English. And that wasn't all that long ago. Like, you've only been here for 8 years.
Yeah.
When did you feel that things started to switch for you in Australia? Like, you started to see something.
The progress?
Like some kind of progress. Like, did you feel, was there any moments where you thought that you'd fucked up and you shouldn't have come to Australia? Did you have any moments of regret or homesickness?
No. I mean, at the beginning, I had some sort of homesickness in the terms of my family, missing them, not being with them. I think especially when I knew that my sister was pregnant, my nephew, I was like, I haven't met him yet. We FaceTime and stuff like that, but like I don't really know him, and I know a few little cousins. And that's one of the things that sort of hit me a lot because I'm so far from them. And
how old is your nephew?
My nephew, I think he should be 7 years old because I think he was born there.
Not long after you moved here.
Yeah, not long after I moved here. So that's one of the things that hit me, especially like I recognize it more now that I have a son now and how important is family. Because at that time I was single and just living my life and working hard and partying and all this stuff. And probably I was so busy working and partying and all the stuff that I wouldn't think about it. But then once you sit down and think and, realize like, with them, you haven't seen them. It hits hard. It hits hard.
Yeah, I bet. Well, now that you brought that up, you've obviously got a son, but let's talk about Cindy. Let's talk about Cindy. Like how because you're not married.
No,
you're not married, but you've got a little boy.
Yep.
Tell me about Cindy and how you met and how your life has changed after meeting Cindy.
Yeah,
Cindy.
It was funny actually. Even though she denies she wasn't first texting, she followed me on Instagram because we have a friend in common, and I think my friend posted something, we're dancing in a nightclub or something, and she followed me. Actually, she followed me, and then I'll text her like, "Hi, I think I know you for somewhere." Bullshit, I didn't know her.
Yeah. The old, I think I know you. Oh, yeah,
I think I know you. And then from then on, we just carry on, get to know each other. Went out a few times, and then the rest is history. Just spending a lot of time together, and then COVID hit it. And that's when the relationship really got strong.
Because Sydney's background, because she's not Australian.
She's Australian, so she's Australian now, but
Citizen.
she was born. She's from Chile.
She's from Chile. Yeah.
So
she's got an interesting.
Yeah. She's
story,
been here longer than me. I think she's been in Australia for like 11, 12 years or something like that.
So you've got a similar.
Yeah.
Kind of a similar journey.
Yeah. She migrated to Australia pretty much.
And how did your life change after you met her?
Oh man, a lot.
Did your trajectory just went a different way?
Yeah, a lot. Obviously, I was studying a lot, and I was ready to settle down, and I met her, and then we started spending a lot of time together, especially in COVID. I was living in Mason at that time, and I remember in these the lockdowns, you couldn't get out or anything like that, so we still sneak out and in each other's house. Yeah. And then after lockdown,
I won't tell anyone, I promise.
Yeah. After lockdown went away, we moved together. Since then, we have cherished so many moments and grow as a couple. And then we have Luca, which is my son, last year.
How old's Luca now?
This year, in March. So he's 5 months now. We got the news. She went to Chile last year in August. And we sort of knew that she probably was pregnant because she was like behind on her parents' stuff. So she went to Chile to visit her family. And I'm never going to forget that day that she called me through WhatsApp and like, "Hey, you want to know the news or you want me to wait until I come to Australia?" I'm like, "No, I cannot wait. Just tell me now." And then, she showed me the...
like the scan?
Not the scan,
the stick.
Test.
The test.
The test sticks. And I'm like, oh my God, we want to be parents. But I feel like I didn't really took it in at that time because it was like a midnight here. So I was just still sleeping, like, oh, okay, we want to be parents, blah, blah, blah. But the moment that I actually realized that I was going to be a dad was the next day when I went to my brother's house, went to tell him, "Hey, you're going to be an uncle." When I got into my car, I remember clearly putting some like like a Latin music, like Venezuelan music, and the music was talking something about your culture and back in Venezuela, blah blah blah. And that's when I sat in the car and I start crying out of nowhere, and just realized
happy
tears. Like, oh my God, I'm gonna be a dad. Like I always wanted to be a dad. We didn't plan it, obviously, but I always wanted to be a dad, and everything happened for a reason. And now,
do you sometimes just sit back and think, 8 years ago, I'm in Venezuela. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where my life's going. Now I'm in Australia. You're secure. You've both got work. You've both got jobs. You've got a little boy. Do you ever have a moment where you sit back and go, man, life is just funny the way it works out. I've come from here. I've got all these memories of good times, but not good times.
Yeah.
And here I am today. Like, you ever have those moments where you just sit back and go, what the hell?
Definitely. I like to sit down and zoom out and see how far I come and everything that I came to Australia, no piercings, no earrings, no tattoo, no kid. And now everything has changed so much. I left my country when I was 18, so pretty much a kid.
Yeah.
I'm still young. I'm 26.
Yeah,
so.
you're still young.
Yeah.
So what are some of the struggles that you've been through in your life?
Australia?
In your life in general. Like what makes your heart feel pain through some of the things that you've been through? Because, to grow up in Venezuela, to just move and leave your family with nothing, like what are the things that you think have happened to you that have helped you become who you are today? Do you look back at specific moments of painful things that have actually can turn into a positive?
Yeah. Now that having a kid, I feel like I don't want my kid to have a few things that I had when I was a kid, things that I saw, things that I experienced when I was in my childhood, that they're not good because they don't they teach you a lot, good and bad experiences teach you, but things like getting shot at, like not physically getting shot, but like someone shooting at you, or seeing things like getting someone in, like seeing someone being killed, things like that that I have experienced when I was little. Those things are not good to have in your mind, because they stay there forever. You know what I mean? And I remember clearly when I was like 13, 14 years old, someone got killed close to my house.
Was it murder or
like he was murdered in close to my house, and we saw him. We saw the action, we saw the thing happening, and I remember having nightmares about it.
You still think about that? You still think
it doesn't do any harms anymore to me. Like it's been the past, but I remember when I was little. Yes, you will have nightmares about that, because it's a shocking experience to have, and that's something that I will never want my kid to have. But at the same time, I feel like I had such a good childhood, playing with my friends outdoor, not being on a tableau or anything like that, but actually playing outside.
So you've got good memories as a child.
Yeah, I got a lot of good memories. Even though with those bad ones, I got a lot of good memories that I wish my kid could experience. But I guess it's a different life. He's going to experience a lot of good things here as well, and there's a lot of good opportunities in Australia. I feel like sometimes you need to go very low to appreciate the heights.
Of course.
And that's one of the things that I'm grateful for. And that maybe I don't take too many things for granted, because I know, or I seen how it's to be.
You know, they say, you know, and I think it is true. A lot of people that become really successful or do really well, or have got are highly ambitious, but they actually follow through and do great things, are usually people that have been through fucking shit.
Yeah.
I reckon that's true. Like a lot of people that do well have been through serious shit.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that you've been through that, but growing up in those sort of areas and seeing people get murdered in front of you and all this sort of stuff, like that's not normal.
Yeah, it's not nice. Like, don't get me wrong, it's everyone has their own, let's say, not rule, but a lot of people worried, say here in Australia, about interest rates, paying mortgage and that stuff. It's serious. Don't get me wrong, it's serious. But when you zoom out and see another country's problems and what they go through, those are real problems. So I reckon paying mortgage, going interest rate high or anything like that, it's just a minor thing.
Yep.
It's just.
That's right.
It is important because it's the roof. It's your roof. You know, it's your house. It's where your family live.
Yeah.
But
perspective sometimes.
Off. You have food, man. You have a car. You got a job. You can do it. You know what I mean? You're not set up for failure.
No, that's right. Because you're a highly ambitious person. Like, you've got goals and dreams. And, I don't think you're one to ever settle just for being average. Like you know, you've been with me now for
nearly since Feb.
Yeah, early in the year.
Yeah.
And like, you're always, even the way with the business, and it's not yours, so to speak. Yeah. You're always looking to go to a new height, take things better. How can it be better with you? And, you know, you're an ambitious person. You've got goals. Like you said earlier, the dream for you to be as a
cinematographer.
Yeah. Like that's awesome. I have no doubt one day that you'll get there.
Oh yeah.
The only thing that's shit about that means the only thing that's shit about that is if you do that, you're not fucking working with me.
I know. Anyway, and there's a workaround there.
I'm
sure there will be. I'm sure there will be a workaround there. But yeah, I'm very clear. The day that I decided to start in filming, I knew what my goal was. And
is there any doubt in your mind that you're not going to get to where you want to go?
I know I'm going to get there.
You're going to get there.
I know I'm going to get there.
I'm going to get there.
Yeah, I'm going to get there.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Like, I'm 1,000% sure I'm going to get there. I don't have a single doubt of it.
I love that.
I don't have a single doubt. I don't know the path I'm going to go through, but I know what to do together. And I'm doing it.
Yep.
I'm doing it. Absolutely. And I'm going to get there one day.
Well, I mean, tell us a bit about how we came together. Well, you were actually doing video work for Tim and Jess at LBD Studios, who, for those of you who are watching and don't know, LBD Studios created the Schweiler brand.
Yeah.
And you were working with them doing videography, and then, you know.
Super grateful with them. Super grateful with them. They were one of the first opportunity that I had in Australia to work as a videographer. As I remember clearly, I was working hospitality yet. And I remember applying for a lot of jobs, and LBD attracted a lot of my attention because of the branding and the way the cultural look. And I always like to go a step extra. And I remember applying for SIG, applying for all these platforms that they put it through. But then I found the emails and emailed them directly and say, hey, I applied through this, but I really like your vision and everything that involves LBD, and I would like to have an opportunity at least to chat and see if I'm suited for the role. And if the company as well suits me. And they gave me an opportunity in there. I started with them with internship, and then a few months after I jumped into the payroll, and then that's how I met you guys when you were doing the branding. And I remember the day I met you and Em doing I think I believe they call it DNA of the brand
early on
with them. And when I met you, I was like, oh, these guys are different. Like these guys are doing something different in real estate. Like they're not, I don't want to talk about real estate or anything like that, but you see a lot of bullshit in real estate, I think.
Fuck, you do see a lot of shit.
And yeah.
Mate, real estate agents aren't the most liked human beings.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a reality. Real estate in general isn't.
But I think I'm not too involved into housing. I haven't purchased a house yet. I will one day. But I feel like a lot of real estate agents that you see around there, they're one person working and they're not the person outside that. You know, once the deal is done, they're another different person. And that's one of the things that attract me a lot about Schweiler and all the team. That who you met is who you are. You know what I mean? Like, you were honest in that. No, that wasn't an interview, but the opening of doing the branding of with LBD, and I saw that through you, and I admire you a lot as a boss, bro.
Thanks, mate.
Like, I really admire you a lot, and everything that you have achieved, and like you have something in mind and you go for it, and I like that. I guess I sort of have that mentality, and I always like to be involved with people that make me grow as well, and obviously they have a great culture we do in here in Schweiler. And when I saw you talking to Tim and Jazz and Luke at that time and Em, I was like, these guys are great. And then I did a few videos through LBD with you.
Yep.
And then I remember in December you posting something in Instagram about you looking for a videographer to bring in house. And I remember we spoke before about helping you to build this podcast studio, and I was like, I feel this is a good opportunity, but I'm just gonna let it roll. I don't usually do that. Like as soon as I see something and I like it, I go for it. Yeah. But in this opportunity, I was like, I'm gonna let it go for now. I'm gonna wait until Jan. If it's still on, I go for it. Yeah. And that's what I did. I let it go. Spend my Christmas with family, enjoy it, and then as soon as Jan came, you posted again. I was like, "This is my chance." And I remember you telling me, "Hey, bro, if you know anybody, that is looking for a job."
I didn't think at all that you'd be looking. The only one of the key reasons, without obviously going into detail, was your role over that side was a freelancing role. It wasn't a full-time role with the entitlements and all that sort of stuff. So I know you're looking for a permanent full-time role. Yep. Which obviously we were offering. Maybe if that were the case, you may not have left. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, definitely. So I never thought that there'd be a possibility that you'd come across. I didn't even think about it. And of course, I'm not going to try and poach you from Tim and Jess because they're great friends of mine. Yeah. So when you reached out and said, "Hey, I'm interested," I think I might have done my first cartwheel. I was that happy. You know what I mean? I was wrapped. And yeah, and ever since, you know, you've fitted into the team beautifully.
Thank you.
In fact, Emily describes you with a good word, which is very true, and she finds you to be very endearing. So you're always smiling, you're always happy, you're always positive. Every morning when you walk in the door, you fucking fist pump everyone.
That's
Like you bring a really good vibe to our office. That's why, you know, I think about the track, and I know Ali's not going to be with me forever, but it hurts my heart because you bring really good positive vibes, and everyone just loves having you around. Like you've got a great personality, you're funny, and you're positive. Like you're supportive of everybody. You're like the perfect staff member. You know what I mean? And I think that's great, considering like your story and where you've come from, and you know your ability to adapt to everything. Like you've been in Australia for 8 years and you had nothing, and now you've got obviously getting your family set up. You've got a little boy.
Yeah.
Like mate, you should be proud of.
I am proud of myself.
You should be really proud. Like your journey's not a normal journey.
Yep.
It's.
I mean,
You may think it is.
A lot of immigrants go through a lot of stuff, and my one, it's not the worst. I'm definitely not. I know that, but it's been a tough one. Definitely, has been a tough one. It's been a tough one. Yeah.
What do you like the most about living in Australia? Is it obviously just the opportunity for yourself, but also now that you're a dad, everything that you do comes back to be able to give Luca a future.
Then I realized that I wanted to do filming. I was watching this movie called 1917. It's a World War II movie. And as soon as I got out the movie theater, I told to my brother and my best friend, I was watching it with them, I say, I want to be a cinematographer. I'm going to be a cinematographer. And they were like jogging around like, bro, you don't have
cinematographer, that's like, just to clarify, that's someone that films movies.
Yeah. So there is the director of the movie who gives the direction, and then the cinematographer who's gives the vision of the director.
Right.
Right. So it's because you guys on cinematographer, they're not operators. They don't hold the cameras. So they give the vision, the lighting, all this stuff. But the director who is in charge of the, let's say, the boss of the entire movie, and then the cinematographer is the eyes, let's say, the vision of it. And when I saw that movie, I thought it was a beautiful movie, and that's what I wanted to do for my life.
It's interesting, like you don't hear too many people that want to do that sort of thing.
And yeah, I got out of there.
How much does a cinematographer get paid, Ali?
It's hard to say, because you got some movies that do millions of dollars, and you got some free movies and some low budget movies. So it's hard to say. It depends on
when you
on
think
the
about
project.
that job role, that's your dream.
Yeah.
Are you driven by money, or are you driven by make you feel good in your heart?
It makes me feel good in my heart. Yeah. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I get bored really quick. So if I'm not doing something that I love, I cannot do it for long.
Yeah, that's right.
So I need to do something. And it doesn't matter if you pay me.
Thanks for that point. I've just noted that.
I don't
keep Ali busy with different things.
I don't care whether I earn $1 or $1 million. Of course, money it's necessary, and it's a part of, of the service of giving, and then you have. I learned this from you, and it's everybody has a dollar amount or what they cost.
Yeah, of course.
You know what
Everyone's
I mean?
got an hourly rate.
Yeah, an hourly rate, and one of the things that I struggled before with that was knowing what I'm worth. To speak out and say, hey, this is what I think I'm worth. And before I started in the industry, for me that was hard. I always say like, how much is this job? Whatever they pay. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. I just need money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Obviously, that's all the situation that I was into. It. But now I know what I'm worth.
It's understanding what your value is, what's it worth. Yeah. And backing yourself and what you can do, what other people can't.
Yeah. But for me, it's 100% the passion of it. It's I love what I do. I love, and one of the things that I love about filming, apart from photography, it's that photography is a solo thing. You always solo doing your shoots and stuff. Videography, filming, it's a team effort. it's a lot of people putting effort into make one thing. And I love that. And that comes from sports. Baseball is a thing of 10 players in the game, or I mean 9 in the field and one on there and some reserve and stuff. But it's a team game.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's a whole team into one goal, to achieve one goal. And I always love that. I feel like you gotta be the greatest, you could be the smartest, but if you don't have a team, there is a limitation in there. Your brain has a limitation, and if you don't have that input from others and that perspective from others, you're not gonna excel.
Of course,
I don't feel like you're not gonna excel because
No, that's
the only thing that you see is your perspective, and you think that you're right, and you might be wrong, or there is another way to do it. You might be right, but there is other ways to do it. Goal, that's what I love. I don't like solo things. I like that, the team, the united.
100%. Going back a little bit, just before we start to come to an end.
Yep.
I keep thinking about your mum and dad.
Yep.
And you haven't seen them in 8 years. First question is, I know you talk to them on WhatsApp and that sort of stuff, but first question is, one, has it affected you that you haven't spent time with them? Like, do you really miss them a lot where it's getting to a point where you need mum and dad back in a physical presence? Like, are you just hanging to give mum and dad a hug?
I feel like.
Do you think they're proud of you and what you've done?
They're proud of me.
Yeah.
100%. They're 100% proud of me and everything that I achieved. I think one of the things that sort of helped me a lot to sort of disattach of my parents a lot was because I was raised by my grandparents, and I was very, very close with my grandpa, super close with him. And once he passed away, I know my dad and my mom are always there for me, whatever I need. But my mom was always working, so I didn't feel like I was 24/7 with my mom. So that, I guess, made it easier for me to transition in Australia and to not be with her. And I love it and I miss it. And I'm probably going to see her soon, definitely, because of my kid as well.
Do you think they'll come here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring my mom soon.
Yeah.
So that's the plan, probably next year, to bring her in to meet Luca. And then potentially my dad, one by the time, because it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, yeah. How do you think it's like thinking about seeing someone that you haven't seen in 8 years compared to what you will feel in 9 years when you see your mum? How do you think your emotions will be when you're standing in front of her in 9 years?
I'm probably going to cry a lot, definitely.
Yeah. Because to have your mum there in a physical presence for 9 years,
it's different.
It's a long time.
It hits different.
Yeah. 9 years is half the time it was that you were with her when you left.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, it's gonna be tough once I see him again. I'm definitely gonna cry a lot. That's it. Good, like happy tears.
Because I think you wanted to come across and stay for
for a little
an extended period of time.
Trying to bring her and keep her here as long as I can, legally, obviously.
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of time with Luca. I know she's gonna miss my sister and my nephew a lot, but I guess it's a sacrifice that she will have to do.
Yeah.
For a little while, and I probably bring Luca one day to Venezuela. I want to bring him to Venezuela one day, definitely.
Yeah.
It depends on the situation of the country.
Actually, that's a question I've got. Luca growing up, in your household, obviously when he goes to school, everyone's English speaking.
Spanish, 100%.
You speak Spanish at home?
He has to.
So you want him to be completely fluent with English and Spanish?
Yeah, we'll speak to Luca. Now that he's a baby, probably he doesn't understand nothing, but we'll speak to him.
So
Spanish,
as he grows up as a little boy, you speak Spanish?
Yeah, that's a rule in the house. We don't speak English in the house. We don't speak English at all. And now more because of Luca. Yeah. It's important for me and for Cindy for him to learn Spanish, mainly because our parents doesn't speak English. So we want him to communicate with them, and secondly because it's it's so rude. So
Yeah,
we
yeah.
want to keep it.
You want to
Then
keep
just
it there.
carry on with it.
Yeah.
Like he has to speak Spanish.
That's
And not
awesome.
broken Spanish. He has to speak proper Spanish.
Yeah, which
So
he'll learn anyway.
Yeah. He's gonna have a weird accent because she's from Chile and from Venezuela. We have our own accent, and so he's gonna have his gringo accent probably.
A what? A gringo?
Yeah, like from
a little bit.
That's how we call it.
Oh, right.
Like the
Bit of a
English
mix.
accent, bit of a mix. But he's gonna speak Spanish. You have to.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And
it's a good language to know.
yeah, commercially,
it's good
I'd love
too.
to be able to speak other languages, but it's
Yeah.
too hard, and I don't have time to learn it. You only seem to know the words that you shouldn't know in other languages.
I know, right?
So, as we wrap this up,
Yep.
What advice would you give to people that may have come from hard times?
Yep.
As a younger person that may be a little bit lost or unsure what they want to do, what advice would you give someone that may have a dream, but they're unsure how to get there?
Man, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. You can do more than you think, and you can achieve more than you think. It's just you have to set up your mind to that. So one of the things that I learned through time is visualize yourself in that person, like in that spot. I visualize myself as a cinematographer with my camera operating, and when I see myself, then I back up in there and say, how do I get there? So to be there, I need to do this, this, and this, and this, and this until I get where I am today. All right. I already know the way. Now let's start doing it. Don't wait for tomorrow. Just right now.
Small steps.
Start now. Small steps. You just have to move forward. One step at a time, one day at a time. You just carry on. And when you know it.
Do you have days where you feel shit? You have flat. You have days where you feel flat, uninspired.
Yeah, you have those ones. You have those ones.
How do you get yourself
out of those
pumped?
Ones? Always reminding myself of where I want to be. And one thing that my dad taught me when I was little was there is a lot of things in this life that you're gonna do that you're not gonna like, and you will have to do them. And that's what I remind myself. Today it's maybe not a good day, but tomorrow will be better. You know what I mean? And just carry on with that. And mainly to be happy. That's my end goal, just to be happy. And happiness, it's a big thing, like.
It's like success. What is success? What is success to you?
It's hard to describe what it is, but to me, happiness is to be content with my life, with what I'm doing, everything. Because you spend a lot of time working, more than you spend at home. So you have to love what you do. Because if you don't love it, if you don't wake up on Mondays and say, "Oh my God, I need to go to work," that's not your spot.
You shouldn't be doing it.
You have to wake up like, "Oh my God, on Sunday I'm already like, what am I doing?"
Well,
tomorrow?
mate, Sunday you're sending me Instagram things of stuff that's cool that you've got ideas.
I'm always searching, always improving, always with the technology and all the stuff on top of it. Because you want to be, first of all, you want to be always a step ahead on the currently thing, but that's what you want to enjoy. You want to keep yourself inspired and moving. I'm just always eager to learn more and learn more and learn more and learn more.
And mate, that's why one day you will get to where you want to be.
Yeah.
There's no question. There's no plan B.
There's no plan B.
And I think that where you've come from to where you are today, mate, you do it easy. You will.
I'm sure about it.
Absolutely. But mate, honestly, you should be so proud of yourself. Like, I know we've spoken in the office and you've told some other people in the office your story, and obviously not in great depth, but people have an understanding, and we just sit there going, shit, like that's not the way our lives were when we grew up. Everyone's been through hard times, but from where you were to where you are today, mate, you should be so proud of yourself. And I think you've done an unbelievable job. I'm in awe of where you've come, like you've done an amazing job. So you always be proud, always remember where you've come from. Yep. And, you'll look back in 10 years and remember, hopefully, the journey you're on now. It's all a stepping stone.
Make more of the journey, right?
Well, that's right. Make more of the journey. And it is true. It is. It's a great way to say it, and it is incorporated in this conversation. You're making more of your journey, and your journey will continue. You've been past, and you know, I'm excited to see where things end up for you. Hopefully, you're with us for a little while longer.
I know.
But no, mate, you're amazing. You're a good person to have. You're a good human.
Thank you.
And I like good humans that make other people feel good. But you know, you should be very proud, mate. Well done.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing your experience.
Thank you.
It's good having you on it, mate. And thanks for sitting in, because you get a front row seat when we speak to anyone. You're obviously over the side, making sure audio's good. That's why we've got the headphones on today, and making sure video's good. It's going to take you a little bit longer to edit this one, because you edit 60% on the fly when we're talking to others.
And the switcher is easier.
That's right.
It's sort of like a live stream, but now I have to go back.
You got to go back and do it all again.
But yeah, that's fine.
That's
I
awesome.
love what I do.
I know.
So I enjoy it.
You do it with a smile on your face.
Yeah, always.
Mate, it's good.
Positive.
We appreciate you sharing your background and telling your story, and I'm sure we will again down the track.
We will. We will a second one.
For sure, mate. Awesome.
We'll see in a year time how we have progressed.
How we progressed. Bloody oath. Who knows what we're going to do?
I know.
But no, but honestly, just quickly before we wrap this up, you know, even the video side of the business, you know, everyone comments to me, man, your video content is at a new fucking level. Like, you guys are smashing it.
Happy to hear that.
It's you.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? It's all good for me to be in the picture, but there's one person that's holding the camera, that's creating the content, that's editing, that's creating all this stuff.
Yeah.
So, mate, huge credit to you, because
Thank you.
from a visual identity, you're taking our business to a new level. So
thank you.
We're very appreciative. Thanks, mate. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
I love you.
Okay.
Okay.